Hi all. Let's do some Adobe. About 10-15 years ago, I got into the art thing, and I was taking college courses on Adobe products, and I had a year of Photoshop. I took an Illustrator class, and got into Flash and InDesign, a whole bunch of them. And then I just kind of lost track of it for a while. I found that things that I needed to do, I could do with Paint. Just simple graphics and things like that. Nothing real fancy. So over the years, I've bought most of their products, spent a lot of money, and but now they're all outdated. And I heard a long time ago that it was all on the web now. So if you go to adobe.com, their main page changes all the time. They're running this deal now for school, for students. But let's see, if you go to the menu and then go to Creative Cloud, this is just an advertisement. But here, down here, if you click on choose a plan, they have these different plans that you can use their applications all online. It's like using Photoshop in a web page, using Illustrator in a web page. So here, $9 a month for Lightroom and Photoshop. If you're just going to do photographs. If you just want one application, pick the one application. Dreamweaver for $19 a month, that's not a bad deal. So $19.99, so we'll say $20 a month times 12, that's $240. So you get to use an application, for $240 a year. I remember when I bought Photoshop, we're talking hundreds. I don't remember the exact price, but it was very expensive. And same with Illustrator and InDesign. I bought Premiere and Flash. Okay, so now they have this monthly plan for all apps. $49 a month. So 50 times 12, 600 a year. So it sounds like a lot, but if you're doing this as a profession, you get to use all of their applications for $600 a year. That's a really good deal. That's less than what I paid for Photoshop, one application years ago. So this here, all apps plus pictures, that seems kind of steep. That's what a $30 jump for. So for $30 a month, you get access to all their pictures. So I guess if you're using a lot of pictures in your graphics, you know, advertisements and things like that, so it's probably a good deal. So it looks like they say 10 images a month. So, you know, if you're interested in that, you can check out the details. And so that's for individuals. They have different plans here for businesses, students and teachers, schools and universities. Okay, so getting back to this email, somewhere along the way I'm still signed up for their emails, and I noticed lately I've been getting these where they give you a deal. So for the all apps it was 40% off. So instead of $49 a month, it's only $29 a month. So you get the latest versions of all creative desktop apps, including Photoshop, Illustrator, and more. Access to new products and services. Mobile apps to create on the go. Services including Creative Cloud libraries and Creative Cloud Market. So I don't know what that is. I just bought into this myself. Access to Adobe Portfolio. So this sounds like it's gonna be graphics or pictures. It might just be clip art. I know when I first got into computers and web pages, you know, first thing I had to do was call the office store and buy CDs with clip art on it, and that was $30 or more. You know, they send you a box with 4 CDs. You know, had a bunch of clip art on it. Of course, you can find those things on the web, but it may not be legal to use those in your creations. Okay, so I clicked join now. It brought me to a simple login page. You know, I already had an Adobe login. Entered in my information, and when it was done processing, it brought me to this page here. So it looks like this is a list of all the apps. So Photoshop, or no wait, Illustrator, InDesign, Extension Manager, Muse, Photoshop, Acrobat Pro, After Effects, Audition, Bridge, Premiere, Dreamweaver, Fireworks, and it looks like there's some more down here. So it's got these 3 steps here. Download the Creative Cloud desktop application. That must be this thing here on the left, which will help you manage all of your favorite Adobe applications directly from your desktop. So I think, I'm new at this too. You run this on your computer, but the actual application runs on the web through a web page or some type of special application they have set up. Browse for the program you need and install it. Use the desktop application to find information about software updates, see release notes, connect with your creative community, and manage synced file. So this here, it looks like it's saying install the application. So and then there's this button, download the Creative Cloud app. So here I'm going to right click this guy. Oh, okay. So I noticed since I logged in with Firefox, when I went to just Adobe, then it showed me this as my startup page. See, earlier I used Internet Explorer, a different browser, when I went to Adobe, and it doesn't have my login information here saved as a cookie. So I'm just a regular guest user on their website. So this just looks like a regular web page. But when I use Firefox and go to Adobe, it has this guy here because it recognizes my account. I'm logged into their website. I could click sign out here. Okay, so first step would be download the Creative Cloud app. So I presume that's this guy here. So let's see what happens. I'm going to say beginner because it's I hate to say it, but it's been like 16 years. Back around 2000. Feels like yesterday. So I'm just gonna say I'll say YouTube Video Professional. I am downloading Creative Cloud 4. YouTube. And click continue. Brought me to this page through this pop-up up. So click save. I'm going to save it to my desktop. So what I think that was, that's just an installer. Open the Creative Cloud installer. Open the Creative Cloud installer. See what that was? It's just a little piece of software you download to your computer, and then you click on it, and it goes out to the Adobe website and downloads the application. They do it like that because when you download things, it's better, it's more stable. If you try to download it through a web page, if it doesn't make it, it crashes or something. It's hard to restart it. You have to start from the beginning. Not always, but sometimes. Here's that guy we downloaded. Okay, if I click him, this is just a user account control. Okay, and it starts to install. I have no idea how big this file is. I don't think it ever said. Okay, so this is going to take a while. It's been running like 5 minutes or more, and it's barely getting started. These days, these status bars are pretty accurate, but I know in general, it's just a guesstimate. So sometimes it'll run like this for a half hour and then jump up here, be done in a minute. Okay, so while we're waiting, this is going to take a while. If we click on menu, this drops down. Creative Cloud must be everything. Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, Premiere, After Effects, Lightroom, Document Cloud, Acrobat, Sign, Stock, Elements. This looks cool. Marketing Cloud, Analytics, Audience Manager, Campaign, Experience Manager, Media Optimizer, Target, See All. I think most people out there will have the Acrobat Reader. That's the program you use to read PDFs. Windows 10 has one built in, but I still recommend installing this one. It's free. Sometimes you have to install Flash Player. You used to need that to watch YouTube videos and things like that, but I think it might already be pre-installed, or they're moving to other types of players. Not really sure what these are. Yeah. This is some type of player. Every so often you bump into something that you need it, but I think that's only happened to me like once or twice in 20 years. So in case you're new at this stuff, Photoshop is for pictures. Like if you take a photograph with a camera and then you want to clean that picture up, you want to edit it, change it up, that's what Photoshop is for. Illustrator is for like clip art, artwork, something you would draw with watercolors or oil paint, with a brush, That's what Illustrator would be for, is creating artwork. InDesign is a layout program. Like if you're creating an advertisement for a newspaper or magazine. You know, you have a page, and then you put items on that page. You know. Well, InDesign would be the page. You would take photos from Photoshop, put them on InDesign. Take graphics from Illustrator and put them on InDesign. And then you also have text and other items. You know. Premiere would be for videos. After Effects, I think that's for like special effects, you know, fancy effects, flying text and things like that you would use in your videos with Premiere. Not sure what Lightroom's for. I used to know. I read a little bit about it. So, click See All here. So Lightroom, digital photo processing and editing. Image in Photoshop would be image editing and compositing. So I'm guessing here, but Photoshop is you can actually create things. You can take 2 or 3 photographs and put them together and put weird things in there for like using it as like a using Photoshop as more of an art program where you would actually create a piece of art. Lightroom, it looks like it's more for just editing a picture. Illustrator, vector graphics, fancy word for like clip art and things like that. Vector graphics. InDesign would be page design. Back in the 90s, the big one back then was Quark, Q-U-A-R-K. I'm not sure if they're still around or not, but it seems like InDesign seems to be the place to be now. Acrobat, you have a program where you could actually create a PDF. If you have the newer versions of Microsoft Word, you can create a PDF right from Word, you know, just file, save as. But there must be a lot more to it, using the whole program just to create a PDF. This one's new to me. I've never heard of this one. Premiere is just a movie editing program. After Effects, cinematic visual effects and motion graphics. Animate, that's Flash. You know, before they used to call it Flash. You create animations with vector graphics. Now they call it Animate. Dreamweaver is for creating web pages, and that really seems to be the place to be now. Back when I first got into this stuff, late 90s or so, there was a few programs that everyone was using, and then Dreamweaver just seemed to take over. Muse, I never heard of this one. Website design without coding. So it makes sense, you know, you create web pages without having to write actual code. You just drop and drag pictures type in your text, which you can do that with these too, with the other programs, but this program must make it a lot easier. Don't hold me to it, but I think if you want to go into it for a job, definitely learn both of them. You want to know what's on the market, but I think Dreamweaver is still the place to go. But I'm guessing. I haven't kept up on this stuff. So Fuse, had never heard of it. Custom 3D characters. So there's a program called Maya, M-A-Y-A. My son went to school for that, and you actually use Maya to create movies. You know, the movies you would see at the movie theater. And then along with that, there was many third-party applications that you would use to create other things that would work inside Maya. So here's one to just create 3D characters. Audition, audio recording, mixing, and restoration. So if you have a song file that you want to clean up, bridge, centralize your creative assets. It must be some type of library thing where you can store stuff. Yeah. Flash Builder. So I guess Flash is still around. IDE, Integrated Development Environment. Like when you open Word, you know, that's a development environment. Kinda, you know, you're inside one application, and Word has all types of tools, things on the menus and things like that, or things on the ribbons. You know, it's a integrated development environment. You know, of course, there's a lot more to it than what you would see in Word, but in copy. Looks like it's some type of word here, but you can use it among multiple people. You have multiple people working on a project, so that's what it looks like here. Prelude. There's something new, Adobe Media Encoder. Something to do with video files. Spark, Scout, Speed Grade, Story Plus, Collaborated Screen Writing, Phone Gap, Package mobile apps in the cloud, Prelude Live Logger, Creative Cloud, quick desktop access to Creative Cloud. So that's what we're downloading here. Okay, it looks like it's done. A gaming SDK software development kit. You download one application and you use that to create something. There's software development kits for everything under the sun. So create action script games. Action script. That was the scripting environment in Maya. You can do most of the graphics in Maya just like you would create things in a regular art application. You're actually working with pictures. And then behind the scenes, there's actual code happening. You could write code and text to make something move across the screen, you know. And that was ActionScript. So they're also using ActionScript for gaming SDK. Extension Manager. Every application you have, you can always add things to it, and it makes the application better. You know, sometimes the same company makes the extension. Sometimes there are third-party extensions that you can buy, and sometimes they're free. You download them from the internet. You know. Extensions are sometimes that's actually the best parts. Like you have Photoshop. Well, this other company might make a cool little application that works with Photoshop to make it better. You know. It may only do one thing, create some type of little art thing inside Photoshop. So that would be an extension. Sometimes they call them add-ins, ADD. So this is just an extension. Manager. Extend Script Toolkit. Add script to your creative apps. Scripts are just little pieces of code, you know, like you would write scripts, like so you know exactly what language. So exactly what language they're talking about, but like this would be a PHP script. You know, that's not something you really learn in half hour. It may take a while. You know, you're actually writing scripts to work with your artwork. Extend Script Toolkit. Add scripts to your creative apps. Okay, so I'm going to left click and hold on this, drag it to my desktop. Okay, so it looks like this is done. Why it didn't save my or use my previous username and password. Ugh. Okay, so I don't really know what this is doing. So I'm gonna, let's see here, search for something silly. So millions of high quality royalty free photos, graphics and videos to help you start your projects. Get 10 free Adobe stock images. So I'm going to close this I'm going to go over here and see if I can load a program. Desktop downloads. I'm going to say download Photoshop. Okay, so it's using this installer to install Photoshop. I can click here for more information. Let's see what happens. So I think this might take a while because Photoshop is probably going to be huge. You'd think they'd warn you. This application is 5 gigs or 2 gigs or something. So more information, it just brings you to the Photoshop webpage. See, this is the type of graphics I was talking about. You could actually create artwork with Photoshop. So this is probably going to take all night. I have slow internet, so that's going to take a while. So when this gets done downloading, I'll show you what Photoshop is. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.